That's Richie Cole taking off in solo flight. We've caught him between sets at Suzette's, and we'll come back to this composition which he created called Waitin' for Waits. Richie Cole, welcome to St. Paul. It's good to have you back on.
Hey, thank you, Leigh. Good to see you and hear from you again.
Well, I really want to say that your horn just matures and gets better and better.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Richie, I want to go back in time, if I may, to this session with Manhattan Transfer, Tom Waits and Eddie Jefferson.
Yeah.
When you put this together, what were you thinking about in developing the themes and compositions for this particular historic document?
Well, it was a concept. At the time, I was I was engaged to a movie star in Hollywood, having to do with Eddie Jefferson, with the late Eddie Jefferson. We happened to be thrown together, and we were engaged for about a year. And means I was there. My whole life was involved with this Hollywood Beverly Hills thing, which I've since found out is not for me. So I came up with the concept Hollywood Madness. So I had, I tried to get songs having to do with Hollywood, and California was basically Hollywood. And then the Manhattan Transfer, they're very good friends of mine. They went along with it, and they thought it was a good idea. So it took us a few months, and Tom Waits happened to come in at the last 5 minutes of the last day of the last possible time to make it. That's where the Waiting for Waits song, which was recorded months and months before, happened to be like almost a premonition.
Indeed, a premonition.
Indeed, a premonition. At the very last minute. Well, I guess he's not going to show up, and at 5 minutes before, like it was the end of like the possible time before the mix. Here comes Tom Waits. Oh, I'm sorry, Eddie. I just couldn't make the gig,
That old line. Richie Cole, you have a very special signature sound. Speaking of the alto and how you play it and solo, who influenced you? What sort of teachers and mentor helped you develop?
Well, I tell you, like to mention names would be inconsequential. I mean, I listen to everyone at least once, and whether I try to gain something either positively or negatively from them. Of course, I like the greats: Charlie Parker, Cannonball Adderley, Sonny Stitt. Sonny Rollins is one of my favorites. And down the line. But I try to listen to everyone, and there's a lot of very good young saxophone players out there today who I try to listen to also, and just to see what they're doing. There's some very good saxophone players out there.
With regard
everyone, I also listen to Beethoven, Bach, Tom Waits, the Talking Heads, the Beatles. I can go on and on with names. I try to listen to everything at least once just to see what's happening.
And you synthesize it?
Pardon me?
You put it through and get it by osmosis and synthesize it?
I kind of like subconsciously probably like take what I like.
And discard the rest?
Discard the rest, yeah.
Is there a lot of junk out there?
There's a lot of junk out there. But there's a lot of good things out there. And there's a lot of good things out there that people who haven't really studied music and don't really know what they're doing come up with some really creative, innovative stuff. Like, for instance, the Beatles. The Beatles never studied anything, but they came up with some very original, creative things that changed the world.
Well, undoubtedly, you just have a universal sort of Catholic approach to music. I know from those wonderful battles between you and Boots Randolph, and your sense of humor is just built into almost everything you do and create.
Well, Boots Randolph is one of the unsung great saxophone players of our time. He's a great saxophone player. And a wonderful man and a very good friend of mine down in Nashville, Tennessee.
And so there is no borderline when it comes to country music, is there?
No, music is music. It's either good or bad, and depending upon how you want to take it and what combinations you want to make of it, you just make music. Like that album I did, Yakety Madness, Boots Randolph's mine. Half of it was recorded in San Francisco with my jazz band, half in Nashville with his country band. and there was a certain string of cohesiveness throughout the whole thing. It was just good music, and it's unusual, and it depends on people's tastes, whether they like it or not, whether they accept it or not, whether they want to degrade it and put it down or not, or whether they want to think it's the greatest thing that ever happened. And you cannot prepare or deal yourselves with people's own taste. People will think what they want and do what they want and say what they want. The best I can do is play the best saxophone I can at the moment with a concept that I agree to go along with, which I like. Because as you know, you've known me a long time, I've known you a long time. I tend to go along with unusual concepts, but I just do it as best as I can. And if the concept is such I don't like, I don't do it at all.
Richie Cole, you're a pioneer, an adventurer, and a hang glider. It's thanks so much for taking time. The intermissions, I know, are precious. You want to recharge the battery because you have another wailing 2 sets to go.
Okay, like, hey, and you are the gentleman of jazz, and all you people out there, you are listening to a man who knows about the field of jazz and what you're listening to. And I'm going to go back to my shrimp scampi now, because Suzette knows how to cook food.
All right, well, have a wonderful feast, Richie, and we'll see you on stand.
Thanks for talking to me, Leigh, and hello, and thank you for all the people out there who like me. Who doesn't like me, I hope you like somebody.
Good night wherever you are, Richie.
Yeah, good.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Leigh. Thank you.